Think back to when you were about to graduate from high school or head off to college. It was a time filled with emotions, excitement, and sometimes anxiety. You dreamed of travel, of freedom, of college life in a new city, or just those last few nights with your family. Everything seemed so open, so full of promise. For Ashley Doolittle, an 18-year-old girl from Colorado, June 2016 was that time too. Just 3 weeks after her birthday, Ashley had just graduated from high school and was about to transfer to Colorado State University to start a new chapter in her life. She was an accomplished equestrian, a recent rodeo lady-in-waiting. Her future seemed bright, unstoppable. And then it all came to an end in a single afternoon. On June 9, 2016, Ashley disappeared. No text, no call. Her family began to worry as the night wore on and the phone remained silent. The next day, that worry turned to heartbreak. Ashley had been murdered, and the most horrifying part? The killer wasn't a stranger. It was someone Ashley once knew. Someone she once loved. Ashley Marie Doolittle was born on May 20, 1998, in Louisville, Colorado, to a loving family with parents Annery and Jeff Doolittle and two older brothers, Brandon and Michael. She grew up with a strong love for farming and horses. At a very young age, Ashley rode her first horse, and the passion never waned. The family later moved to Berthoud, where Ashley attended high school and became a fixture in the local community. Not only has she won numerous equestrian awards, she has also been an active participant in agricultural fairs, especially the Boulder County Fair. Her dedication to agriculture and cowboy culture has led many to believe that she was born to lead and inspire. Ashley is not only talented but also has a warm heart. She is often seen with her favorite horse, Bubba. To Ashley, Bubba is more than just a pet, he is family. The bond between them is indescribable. However, there is another person in Ashley's life, Tanner Flores. Her boyfriend, Ashley and Tanner have known each other since high school. At first, things seemed normal. She was an ambitious young woman, and Tanner was planning to follow in his father's footsteps in the trucking industry. But their differences gradually became clear. Ashley wanted to fly high, and Tanner wanted to hold her back. Gradually, Tanner began to control Ashley's life, checking her phone, asking her insistent questions about her relationships, restricting who she could see. The jealousy turned into an obsession. And then, finally, Ashley couldn't take it anymore. She broke up with him, but Tanner wouldn't have it. He sent dozens of messages a day, begging, threatening, and even blaming Ashley for betraying him. On June 8, just one day before the tragedy, Tanner sent her a threatening text, "I'm going to do something stupid. Goodbye." Ashley, though determined, tried to keep her cool. She texted back, "I never cheated on you. Our relationship ended a long time ago. I wanted to be friends, but that's not possible." Little did she know that this would be the last text she would ever send. On June 9, Tanner asked to meet again, saying it was for one last talk. Ashley, still hoping for a peaceful end to the matter, agreed. They arranged to meet at a parking lot near the Lon Hagler Reservoir. From there, Tanner drove Ashley to Carter Lake, a remote, deserted area. When Ashley didn't come home that evening, her family sprang into action. They found her car abandoned at the meeting spot, with no trace. They called the police, and then, one name came up again and again in every account, Tanner Flores. The police tracked down Tanner. They talked to his friends and family. Everyone confirmed that Tanner had been acting strangely since the breakup. He seemed depressed, even talking about suicide. And then, a shocking discovery: a gun from Tanner's father's collection was missing. At the same time, Tanner was not at home. The police immediately issued an urgent search warrant for Tanner's pickup truck. They feared it might be too late. When the urgent search warrant was issued, no one knew exactly where Tanner Flores was, but everyone had a bad feeling. Time was of the essence. Police worried that not only Ashley but Tanner himself was in danger. Maybe suicidal. Or worse. Too late, and then, the next morning, June 10th, a call from the small town of Colbran, nearly 5 hours' drive from the original scene, broke the silence. A resident reported seeing a truck matching the description parked near a farm that had belonged to Tanner's late grandfather. A local park ranger rushed to the scene. From a distance, he studied the vehicle. What he saw made his blood run cold. Tanner was standing next to the car. He held a rolled-up blanket, something heavy inside. He opened the back door and gently placed the blanket inside. Before that, the park ranger also saw Tanner throw bloody rags out of the car. There was no doubt in his mind this was no ordinary missing person case. This was a murder. The police moved in quickly. Tanner did not resist. He was arrested on the spot. But as the blanket was removed, the painful truth could no longer be denied. Ashley Doolittle was inside. She had been shot 3 times at close range. 3 times from a shotgun. The 18-year-old victim, recently graduated, recently accepted to college, once admired by the community, was now gone forever, killed by her former boyfriend. There was no longer a doubt. There was no longer a maybe. Tanner Flores was the killer. At the police station, Tanner was initially emotionless. He didn't admit it, but he wasn't shocked either. The police began questioning. Tanner recounted, the two met at Lon Hagler Lake, then drove to Carter Lake to talk. At first, Tanner said the conversation went well. But then he began to fabricate a story that infuriated the investigators. Tanner claimed that Ashley took the gun herself while in the car. For reasons unknown, she pointed it at herself. Tanner said he tried to grab it from her, and during the struggle, the gun accidentally went off. The first shot did not kill Ashley immediately, and this is where the story became untenable. Tanner went on to say that, instead of calling 911, he decided to fire 2 more shots to end her suffering. This testimony stunned everyone. It was shocking not only because of the absurdity, but because of the coldness and cruelty of the narrator. The investigators immediately blew away the lie. Tanner thought he had the story under control, but the evidence exposed him. Before he even met Ashley that day, Tanner had gone to Carter Lake alone that morning, carrying his father's gun. He said he was shooting practice. But the police didn't believe him. They believed Tanner had picked the location in advance, a remote, unmarked spot, perfect for a planned murder. The detail that made it even clearer: the gun Tanner used was a revolver, which could only fire 1 round at a time and had to be manually reloaded after each shot. That meant that after the first shot, Tanner had time to think. But he kept shooting, not once. 3 times. In a videotaped interrogation, the investigator asks, "Why did you shoot her in the head?" Tanner replied, coolly, "I thought it would be faster. She would have died." That answer was enough to destroy any argument about unintentional or impulsive. Tanner Flores was taken into custody in Mesa County, then transferred to Larimer Prison. He was charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. The kidnapping charge was specifically added because Tanner had held Ashley in the car against her will, forced her into seclusion, and denied her a chance to escape, but Tanner kept spinning the story. Tanner's defense attorneys argued that this was second-degree murder, meaning it was unplanned, an act of rage. They portrayed Tanner as a young man in love, who had lost control of his emotions. But the prosecutors did not let those arguments cloud the substance of the case. They pointed out that Tanner hid the gun, chose the location early in the morning, and even used Ashley's phone to send himself a text message, pretending she had never shown up for the date. Mobile phone at 4:26 p.m. that afternoon. After killing Ashley, Tanner used her phone to send a text, "I won't be seeing you today." These were not the actions of a man who had lost control. These were calculated and cover-up actions. After nearly a year and a half of waiting for trial, the trial began in October 2017. All eyes were on Tanner. Ashley's family sat silently in the courtroom, carrying an unnameable grief. The question arose, was this a crime of anger, or was it premeditated murder? And then, the answer was given not by emotion, but by facts. On October 5, 2017, nearly 16 months after Ashley Doolittle was murdered, the trial of Tanner Flores officially came to a close. Long, painful days of confronting the brutal memory finally brought the Doolittle family what they craved: justice. Tanner was sentenced to life in prison without parole for first-degree murder, with an additional 32 years for kidnapping. The entire courtroom fell silent as the verdict was read. Tanner, who had once said he loved Ashley, had now officially taken her life, never to return to the outside world. During the sentencing, Ashley's mother, Annery Doolittle, took the stand. Not with words of outrage, but with a voice that trembled but was filled with courage. "Tanner didn't just kill my daughter," she said. "He destroyed two families. My family. And his family." No one expected her to be forgiving. But she did something extraordinary. She recognized that the pain was not just her family's, that empathy brought tears to the eyes of the entire courtroom. A pain on top of a loss, and even justice, it still couldn't bring Ashley back. Ashley's funeral was held on June 17, 2016, at St. John the Evangelist in Loveland, just weeks after she had stood on stage there, wearing her graduation gown, smiling brightly on her graduation day. Now, it was her final farewell. Nearly 700 people came to say goodbye. They were mourning not just the murder of an 18-year-old girl, but also the things Ashley could have done: an agricultural leader, a modern cowboy icon, or simply an inspiration to a generation of young people. Ashley Doolittle was more than a victim. She was an icon. In the immediate aftermath of her death, the Doolittle family decided not to let silence be the end. In March 2017, they established the Ashley Doolittle Foundation, dedicated to raising awareness about dating violence and the dangers of controlling relationships. The goal of the foundation is not to relive Ashley's death, but to prevent it from happening to other girls. They host workshops, award scholarships, and partner with schools to teach healthy boundaries, how to get out of toxic relationships, and most importantly, help teens recognize the early signs of emotional abuse. Beyond education, the rodeo community where Ashley once shined has decided to honor her in a special way. In 2017, Ashley was posthumously named the area's rodeo queen, something she always dreamed of. Though she is no longer here, the title is well-deserved for her tireless dedication to the cowboy and agricultural communities. And then another project was born, the Princess Project, a partnership between CSU and the Ashley Foundation. Each year, 2 young women are chosen to be Ashley's princesses, people who will continue Ashley's legacy of spreading love for Midwestern culture, living a life of kindness, and inspiring others. What Tanner Flores did was horrific. But how Ashley's family channeled their pain into action is what makes this story not just a tragedy, but a legacy. they refused to let Ashley be just another victim in the news. Instead, her name became a beacon of toxic love, a beacon of light for those still trapped in seemingly normal but controlling relationships. Teen dating is often overlooked. But this case shows that control, intimidation, and emotional abuse can quickly escalate into tragedy if not recognized and intervened. Tanner didn't kill Ashley out of a fit of rage. He manipulated her, he pressured her, he cornered her, and then he killed her because he couldn't accept the fact that Ashley had chosen to live her own life, that she no longer belonged to him. Possession is never love. In the video's final message, the narrator makes it clear: if you're in a relationship that scares you, that makes you retreat, that makes you feel like your self-worth is being eroded, know that you deserve better. Leave. Get help. Live your life. Ashley Doolittle couldn't do it in time. But her story could save hundreds, thousands of others, and that's how justice is truly served. Ashley was a light that was extinguished too soon, but that light is now rekindled in the hearts of thousands of others, girls who have learned to love themselves, to walk away, and to choose their own path. Her killer was punished, but it was the community of people who loved Ashley who turned that pain into a beacon of inspiration, so that her passing will never be forgotten. If you find Ashley's message important, please share the video so more people know. True love never controls. Everyone deserves to live in safety, respect, and freedom.